Welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Wire Room. Right. So, Bruce Willis and Matt Dillon again. Unbelievable. Did I say Matt Dillon? Kevin Dillon, sorry. Again, I just watched The Hot Seat with him in it. And I bet you if you go back and watch that review, I say this is probably the last Bruce Willis movie, right? Because he announced on March 30th or something like that he's retiring. And he's been making all these movies, so there's a long history about me watching Bruce Willis films and Nicolas Cage, because they make everything, and that's, I don't care, I'll watch it, right? And that one had Kevin Dillon in it. That's so funny. But now I read the trivia, and the trivia said this is the last film he worked on. So this is it. This is truly it. Or probably I'll be back in a week saying, here's another one that they found. But this is about a FBI agent who has a wire on somebody, and he hears the target get attacked, and now he's got to kind of protect him from like 50 miles away or something like that. I don't know. Very loose plot line, and I can see by the opening scene when I started it, it looks pretty, I don't know what you would expect. 3.5 on IMDb, 308 people rated it so far, so very low score. Hour and 36 minutes long, but who knows and who cares, right? It's Bruce Willis one final time with Kevin Dillon. He's closing out his career with Kevin Dillon. Of course, he probably didn't know that when he was making this, but I just think it's funny, him and Johnny Drama, for the last two movies I get to see him in. Well, maybe I'll see him in something else, but for the first time, this is the last time I'm seeing him. You know what I mean? Like, figure that out. It's a riddle. Alright, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of The Wire Room. I have to say, I can see why the scores are really that low. And this is nitpicky, but it's happening right now. Like I said, we're at the credits. The font of the credits just seem, I don't know, off. I would say, low rating. I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but I don't know. It's just, even in the beginning, so in the beginning they start with the ending, what goes on at the end, and there's a shootout, and the scenery and the way that they film everything just seems, I want to say low budget, and maybe that's what it is. But I'm thinking, how do they? I don't know. I should learn. I mean, I finally figured out the difference between a director, a producer, a writer, all that kind of stuff. So The Offer. If you don't know, The Offer helps out a lot. But anyway, so I get all that. But like how movies, even movies that don't make a ton of money can make the scenes look so awesome. And in some movies, and I get it, it's a lower budget, but what's the difference in how the scenes look not so great? Is it, I don't know what it is, but we don't want to go down that path. You want to learn more about this movie. So Wire Room is, so Kevin Dillon has retired from the CIA, or moved on from the CIA or whatever, and is now a special agent in the FBI who sits in a wire room, and his first day is to watch the target. So it's not like they have somebody wired. It is they are, they tapped into their system. They can see their cameras, and they can listen to everything that's going on. They listen to their phone calls. So that's the person they're after, who's like a gun smuggler. Eddie was his name. So they're supposed to watch him and see if anything happens. They're still trying to figure out who his second in command is, and ultimately they want to capture Eddie once they have enough evidence, and keep him alive, kind of thing. But in all probably high-profile FBI jobs, on the first day, your captain and your training person are probably going to leave you for the entire shift and be like, there you go, there's a binder there in case you need to know what to do. Because that's what happens, right? So, Bruce Willis, unfortunately, is not in this movie that much. Beginning and ending. That's it. The rest of it's Kevin Dillon and this Eddie character and stuff like that. And essentially, he's trying to keep this guy alive because they want him alive, and he's not really trying to figure out what's going on, but he stumbles into what's going on with the whole investigation. But I think that's interesting, the plot line. When I think about it, I was like, okay, that's cool. But everything else is just off for me. I always debate, is it the dialogue or is it the actors saying the words? But that there was a lot of scenes where it just didn't hit right, if you will. I think a lot of it was some of the words that they gave the actors, and not so much the actors. But I think there's also times where the actors did that as well. So if you watch this, you'll see exactly what I mean. Hopefully, of course, there's a lot of holes in the action scenes, I guess to say. You know, an example is a guy is in a house by himself, and a whole SWAT team of bad guys are coming to get him, and he could just walk openly like throughout the house on the phone and not worry about them getting there, and they could be there for hours and not find him, even though he's just walking through the den or the living room, not like hiding in like a cubbyhole or anything like that. So, you know, there's a lot of that going on in this one. But even the ending, you know, the whole, there's even a scene, finally Bruce Willis comes back into the movie, and there's a scene between him and Kevin Dillon, who are probably the two most known actors. I shouldn't say the, you know, the most known actors in this movie, and the exchange between them was just even off. If you're watching it for, like, you know, like, Bruce Willis comes back and be like, oh, Kevin Dillon, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, whereas this whole thing has been going on, and you would think that he would explain to him, hey, here's what's going down, man. But it's just like, you know, well, I was busy drinking, you know, and you'll see it. Like, there's no, it just, you know, it's a shame to see Bruce go out on this note. Not that, like, he's been doing a string of great stuff. He's just been doing a lot of stuff, but I'll watch him. But this one just didn't hit the mark for me. There's a lot of areas of opportunity, if you will, in this film. But, I don't know, had a cool idea, I guess, for a plot. But if you like me and you're going to watch a Bruce Willis film, check this out. If you would like to see Johnny Drama and something other than Entourage, check this out. Otherwise, you know, you might not want this on your list. So, there you go. That's it. Hopefully that was helpful. I appreciate you tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.